Greetings, Elder Blacklight. We're in Revelations now, from Genesis to Revelations, the first book of the Bible to the last book, the fall of Babylon. That's what we're going to talk about, chapter 18. But before I get started on that, now you heard that Biden wants to give billions of dollars to Ukraine. And over here, you got people being kicked out of their houses for non-payment of rent because of the pandemic. You got all these churches over here, all these different religious organizations. A lot of them own property, a lot of them have enough money circulating. But they're waiting on the government to try to pull them out. A lot of them say they believe in Jesus, a lot of them say they believe in Allah. But they have the wrong interpretation of who Allah is and who Jesus is. So God says, God help those who help themselves, but we still can't understand what that really means. So after all this inflation, and it's getting higher, gas prices at an all-time high, you're taking your money, joining different cults, giving your money to these fake prophets. A lot of them is going to jail. You started with Polite and Dr. York. But the one man that went to jail, but when he came out, he excelled and built a $60+ billion empire for his people, black people. It was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and he was taught by Allah in person, Master Farad Muhammad. Master Farad Muhammad came to the shores of the United States in the 20s. Before he made himself known in 1930 here in Detroit, in Black Bottom. Didn't take no money, because truth is to be told and not sold. And from his very humble beginnings, he taught about a year and a half before he ran into the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Not ran into him, but he met him and made him his messenger. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was the messenger of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was the messenger of Master Farad Muhammad, Allah in person. He made it very plain. What we got now is the separation of the goats and the sheep. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that he is making leaders, not followers, not blind followers. So we own the fall of Babylon. Babylon is the United States. It's falling. It's falling. It's in free fall. Let's start right here. on number 2. And he cried mighty with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and it's become the inhabitants of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk the wine, the wrath of her fornications, and the kings of the earth have committed fornications with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Does that ring a bell, black man? And it's fallen because of you, black man, because you've been mistreated, abused, you lost your name, you lost the knowledge of your God, you lost the knowledge of self. See, our culture is the culture of righteous by nature. We were born righteous. Because in the beginning, when God created everything he created was good. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. And God saw the light that it was good. So how did everything so good turn so bad? This is when the Garden of Eden and he planted a man in the Garden of Eden. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die. The man that Allah commanded is the Adamic race, or the Caucasian. Caucasian can't follow none of God's laws. And we can prove it. To be a Muslim, you are righteous by nature because you follow the laws. When you worship by doing. And every law that Allah set up was good to develop you into a perfect being. This is to be continued. Keep watching. I'm Black Light, telling the truth and passing the mic.